In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to use the 3D warehouse. There's a button on your toolbar at the top that if you hover over it will say 3D warehouse. Click on that button. And the first thing I want to do is search for a product that I want to put in. I've got the rear of my house on view, so I need some glass doors. You can see there's lots and lots of different types of glass doors here available. I'm going to make my description a little clearer, so I want sliding glass doors. And I think these ones are going to suit my purpose here. So I'm going to click on this one. I'm going to click on download, load it directly into my SketchUp model, yes. And you can see it's come in attached to my cursor. So the first thing I'm going to do is locate it on an end point here, and then I'm going to use my orbit tool to have a look at the windows. So I need to rotate the windows around so they actually fit into the space I need, and then I'm going to edit them. So to use the rotate tool, click on the rotate tool and then click on an end point in your component. But before you do that, you really want the protractor that you can see there to turn blue, because that means that you'll be rotating on the plane that's parallel to the floor. So I want to rotate on the blue axis, and I want to rotate my doors around this way. Now if I continue to rotate them all the way around, I should be able to get them pretty much in line with my building, and you can see a tag or a flag has appeared that says on green axis. That means that my windows are now aligned with the back of my house. So I'm going to click and release, and I'm going to orbit again and have a look at my doors. So they're pretty well located at the moment. I just need to slide them into position. So the next thing I'm going to do is use the move tool, and I want to move the doors a little higher so I can see the bottom edge. And sometimes that could be tricky. So I have them now on the red axis and I have them on the ground here. And what I want to do is move this front end point here to this position here. So using the move tool again, click on the move tool, click on the end point in the component, and then I'm going to drag it over here and I'm going to get the end point in my diagram. And you can see there, if I orbit around, I've got my doors in place. Now I've got two options here. I can add in another set of doors directly beside those, or I can scale these to suit my needs. One of the first things I'm going to do is use the selection tool to select my component, and then I'm going to go to tools and scale. And you'll see there's a whole lot of handles that have come up. Now if I make sure I click on this handle here, I can scale it, and I want it to go to the edge of my opening that I have available. So again, selection tools, click anywhere else, and you can see that I have scaled my doors to fit the opening I have available. Now I can select the component again, go to tools, scale, and this time I'm going to pull it up and make sure it hits the midpoint there. So you can see there that I've managed to make my doors fit into my model very accurately. Some of the other things I can do is if I want to edit or change the color of these, I can double click on the component, and then I can use the paint bucket tool, and if for example I wanted to change the color of the doors to red, I would be able to edit the component in that way. However, I don't want to do that, so I'm going to Control Z to undo. Click on the selection tool, click anywhere in the model, and you can see I have doors in the back of my house. I'm going to add a garage door, so I'm going to rotate my model, making sure I can see the garage door, or the hole where the garage door should be. Go back to warehouse, search for a garage door, and I like this garage door here, so click on it, click on download, load this directly into my model, yes. I'm going to orbit my model a little bit. I'm going to use the rotate tool, making sure I'm rotating on the blue axis from that corner to that corner, click, and then I can orbit it around this way. Now I think I'm actually looking at the wrong side, so if I pull it around the other way, and I want to get it on the blue axis, on the green axis, so I have it on the green axis now, and use the move tool, end pointing component, and I'm going to slide it over to my end point in my model. Go to tools, scale, pull my top up and my side across, selection tool, double click on my component. I want to edit my component, and in this case I want to make my garage door a brown color, and then selection tool and click off, and you can see I've done the door but I've forgotten to do the frame, so I'm going to double click again, go back in with the paint bucket, zoom in a little closer, and do the rest of the frame, which I've done now. Selection tool, click off. So I'm able to add all my doors that way, windows as well. So again, I'm going to add a window into this space here, 3D warehouse. I'm going to select this one here, download, yes. And you can see again it's not quite in the right location, so I'm going to certainly bring it in so it's on an end point. Then I'm going to use the rotate tool, get it on the blue axis, click on the end point in my component, on the other end point in the component, bring it round till it's on the end point there. Then tools, scale, bring this one down and this one in and this one across. So then if I use a selection tool, unselect or deselect, you can see how I've got a window in that space there. So I'm going to select that window now and copy it, orbit, and edit, paste, and use the same window in this location here. Keep using the 3D warehouse until you've put in all your exterior windows, and then work on your doors, both interior and exterior.